Hello everyone. Take a look at this puzzle. We have an extra rook to play with, but the issue is that black has this pawn here that is 2 steps away from promoting. So how can we stop this and win? There is one solution here, and I want you to find it. So pause the video and have a think. How can white win this? And then come back when you want to see the solution. Good luck. And welcome back. Okay, so if we try to just, for example, play rook to g7, capture this pawn, and then maybe sacrifice the rook for this pawn, something like this, then I can tell you that it's not going to work, because this king has to walk a long path just to reach these 2 pawns here. And black is actually going to be quicker. And here we are stuck with white, and the king can't move up anymore, and we're going to lose that. And if we try to play something like rook to g1 check, then black simply plays king to a2, and if we try to check again, then black will just play b2, and we will end up with the same situation where we can't really sacrifice the rook for this pawn, because our king will not be able to get to these pawns. So that isn't gonna work either. And if we try to play rook to g6 to capture this pawn, maybe try to get this pawn up, well, that is of course going to be too slow. Black just plays b2 here, and if we take on h6, black has promoted already, and we can't make a check on a6 because this pawn here is covering that square. Okay, and if we instead play the rook to b6, then again we just end up with the same situation where we sacrifice the rook for the pawn, and our king is just too far away, or rather too slow to do anything. So that plan doesn't work either. So what if we play rook to g8 instead? And the idea is, after black plays b2, we play rook to a8 check, forcing the black king in front of its own pawn, and here we can play rook to a7, try to take the b7 pawn. Well, here black is just gonna move the king out, and after we capture, we end up with the same situation as before, where our king is just not fast enough to reach any of black's pawns. So that does not work. And if we play rook to a5 instead, again, black is just going to move the king out, and we can't take this f5 pawn because black is just going to promote. And if we play rook to c5 check instead, then in the worst case, black can just move the king back and forth like this, and we just can't stop this pawn in any way. So that would be a draw. So what is the solution then? Well, it is actually to sacrifice the rook, and the beautiful idea here is that when black captures our rook, that will free our h-pawn, and we will be able to run with that instead. So here we play h6, black plays b2, we play h7, and it might seem like black is promoting before us, but we are promoting with a check. And here, if black plays king to a2, then we play queen to a8 check. And after king to b2, we capture on b7 with a check. And then we exchange queens, and then we can capture on g5, and we will win that pawn race because our white king is close enough to stop black here, and we will win. And if black instead had played queen to b2 with a check, then we again just capture the queen, exchange queens, and then we capture g5, and it doesn't matter what black do here, we will be able to run with our pawn and win. And white wins. And if black does not capture the rook, but instead plays b2 here, then we will capture an f5. Black promotes the queen, and we play rook to a5 check, forcing black to the b file with the king. Play rook to b5 check, and then we just trade the rook for the queen, and then we can run with the f-pawn. And that's a win for white. So did you find rook to g5? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next puzzle. Have a nice day. Bye.